From the third largest city in the United States of America, my name is Mario Smith, and you are watching The Drive here on Backchannel.tv. How you doing, everybody? What's up? Good afternoon. I'm glad to see you all, and I am in trouble with Gliss, so I am about to fix that right now. Okay, Gliss, I've done it. It's done. I am doing it. Everybody say hi to my man, Jonathan Gliss, who is in Portland, Oregon. Yep, I'm sorry. Whoa, was that a little bit too much? Too explosive?
No,
too loud? All right. How you doing, man?
I'm good. You're not in trouble. I was just.
You're like, what the hell are you doing? Okay, I'm in
getting
now.
Getting everything in order. I'm in
a
different chair today.
So. Wait a minute. Hold on. I didn't even see you. Let me see. Oh, look at you.
It's just it's not as comfortable as a chair, but I need to get a new comfortable chair. So this is the substitute.
I need to go close my door. Did you hear that train go past?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's even better then. I'll leave it open. It is. We did it again with the clothes, bro.
Oh yeah, look at that. What's funny is I actually thought about it this time. It was like subconsciously in the back of my mind. It's like,
hey man, the transit Hal is such a nice guy,
isn't he?
He is such a nice dude, man. You know me, guy. I'm big on nice people. He is such a nice man.
They got a good show. They got a good thing going on. So
yeah, they do. Oh my goodness gracious, the rejected segment. Did you see how big that Swiss Army knife was he owned? It's pretty big. It's pretty big. There's a lot going on in the world. I just want to, before we get all off into that and stuff, thank you guys for watching and everything. We really appreciate you being around, and you guys are passengers here on The Drive. We really, really do appreciate you being a part of this program. My phone has not stopped ringing today because we announced, well, not me, but some friends of mine announced a big event here that's happening in Chicago this summer. And people think that I'm affiliated with that event in a bigger way than I really am. So like I have been since 8:30 this morning saying no to people. So I just want to say this might be the wrong place to do it because I don't know, whatever. But if you're in Chicago and you're looking for information from me about the upcoming Hyde Park Fest, I don't know. It's going to be great. I know that. My buddy Jonathan Swain, my man Dave Jeff, and all the great human beings that are involved in it are going to put on an amazing show, but I can't get you booked. The performer list is closed. Gliss is Busta Rhymes, Lupe Fiasco, Marsha Ambrosius, a bunch of great DJs and stuff. It's going to be crazy in Chicago in June. It's going to be good. But I don't know nothing about it. Like Busta Rhymes is, come on. You can't.
It's one of the best.
Poop. Can't poop on Busta Rhymes. He's the man. Yeah. But I don't know nothing about any of that stuff. I help them with their promo. That's kind of it. So I also, Gliss, so you know, I pushed everything up here on the Resolute desk so that I'm not moving around so much. Like I'm on MTV. Good. Yeah, today it looks great. Well, I had to. Yeah. I was on with Hal. I can't be out here messed up. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about these things. Gliss is going to be in this uncomfortable ass chair, and it's going to be great. I may make a costume addition, not necessarily a change, in a 60-second, maybe 30-second thing that we're going to do. I also, so you know, Gliss, I bought a telescope recently. And
I remember you talking about you were going to buy one.
I finally got it, and I finally put it together today, and I can't see out of it, so I have to fix that after the show. It's something about it's something that's not aligned right, and I have to figure it out because I want to look at the stars, man. I want to drink wine and be like, oh man, look at those stars. Can't do it if I can't see out of it. That's kind of stupid, dumb thing to have.
Definitely got to figure that part out.
Yeah, I will. All right, man. Let's get to it. Not a lot of headlines today because of the fact that we had this nice transition with Hal, and we were able to have a really cool chat with him and Travis. Thank you again, fellas. Really appreciate it. And if you're not checking out the shows on Backchannel.tv, I don't understand. What are we doing? It all begins on Backchannel at the lovely hour which is 6 a.m. Eastern, with Haley and Allison from the UK. And then Liv Harrison's on at 8. Jam and Renee are on at 10 Eastern. Sir Anthony Davis is on at noon. And my man Hal, your pal Hal, is on at 2 Eastern. And then it's us, me and Gliss, and you guys here on Backchannel. Fortnite has joined the stream. Abid is on the stream. Ian, Play Game. That's probably somebody yelling at their device to play a game. Trinity, Bella, Not Telling You. That's an awesome name. Bob. Oh, we're going to have to do the Bob game. I said every time Bob comes, you got to. And Dr. Crutchfield in Minnesota. Sweet. Thank you all for being on the show today. Truly appreciate you. And you can join the exercise with us by telling your Amazon controlled device to let you in the chat. Start with the word say. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can get into the chat that way too. Thank you all again for being here. Let's run through these headlines very quickly. The U.S. today injected a strong note of caution into the persistent reports that Russian military progress, including by the massive convoy outside of Kyiv, has slowed, plagued by food and fuel shortages and logistical problems. One senior defense official said that the U.S. has seen Russian military columns literally run out of gas and in some places running out of food, and that morale is suffering as a result. But the official added that it is important to be pragmatic. The Russians still have a significant amount of combat power that has not been tapped. And, quote, they will regroup, they will adjust, they will change their tactics, close quote. There's also reports coming out of the war that a lot of the soldiers are not surrendering, but aren't really fighting. And that also depends on who you ask. And the sweet. Oh, here's the other headline. Major League Baseball still hasn't made a deadline offer yet, but they plan on making yet another offer before the 5 p.m. Eastern deadline. They've made what they are calling their best and final offer to locked out players about 90 minutes before its 5 p.m. deadline and threatened to start canceling regular season games if the sides don't reach a deal. After making progress during our bargaining session Monday, the sides exchanged new offers today and still remain far apart. MLB proposed raising the luxury tax threshold from $210 million to $220 million in each of the next 3 seasons, $224 million in 2025, and $230 million in 2026, unchanged from its prior offer. Players asked for $238 million this year, $244 million in 2023, $250 million the following year, $256 million in 2025, and $263 million in 2026. If something happens during the course of the program, we will definitely break in with breaking news and let you know about it. As of now, baseball still on strike. Well, no, locked out. Mark has joined the stream. Watch out, Gliss. Mark is here. Ian has also joined the stream. Thank you so much. Rachel is here as well. And Mark is in Georgia. We found that out yesterday. We had a good time with Mark, and we're going to have a good time with you guys today. When we come back, we'll get deeper into the news and, do what we do. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. You're also watching on YouTube and listening to us on your Amazon-supported devices, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. You're watching us as well. You're watching us. You're watching us. You're watching us as well on YouTube and on your Amazon supported devices. And I appreciate it, and so does my man Gliss. Mark is back, Gliss. Are you seeing my man Mark? He's like, I'm back, guys. I appreciate you, bro. I'm with it. Right on, Michael Jordan. I'm back. Thank you for coming back, man. That was honestly, Mark, no joke. This morning, that was one of the wishes I had today when I shared with Gliss. I'm like, I hope Mark comes back. And you did. I'm really happy you did. I am going to mispronounce your name. Ainsley? Did I say that right, Ainsley? I think I did.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Ainsley. Welcome to the show. He said, I forgot the name. Mark did. I forgot the name, and I was caught enjoying. That could be so many things. so many things, man. But I appreciate you being here, brother. We're going to get right to it because I know at some point me and Gliss are going to have a conversation that nobody's going to want to miss because we are, if nothing else, entertaining and exciting. The EpiPen. How many of you guys have EpiPens? Well, the EpiPen maker is going to pay $264 million to settle a lawsuit. Vitaris Incorporated, the drug maker formerly known as Mylan, said on Monday that it had agreed to pay $264 million to resolve a class action lawsuit alleging it engaged in a scheme to delay generic competition to its EpiPen allergy treatment. The proposed settlement would resolve litigation that began following public outrage in 2016 over Mylan's decision to raise the list price for a pair of EpiPen to $600 from $100 in 2008, fueling a debate about rising U.S. drug costs. The case brought on behalf of consumers and third-party payers, like insurers, until recently was slated to go on trial this month, with the plaintiff seeking $1 billion in damages, a sum that under some state antitrust laws could be multiplied. The lawsuit accused Mylan and Pfizer, which manufactured the EpiPen, of engaging in wide-ranging anti-competitive conduct that allowed them to maintain a monopoly over the market for the devices. But U.S. District Judge Daniel Crabtree in Kansas City, Kansas, last year dismissed much of the case against Mylan, leaving only a claim concerning a 2012 patent litigation settlement with generic drug maker Teva Pharmaceutical Industries Incorporated or Limited. Vitaris said the settlement, which is pending court approval, does not contain any admission of liability. The plaintiffs had alleged the defendants entered into an unlawful pay-for-delay settlement with Teva that resulted in the delayed release of a generic version of the EpiPen, allowing Mylan to raise its product's price without fear of competition. The plaintiffs alleged that Mylan, as part of a quid pro quo, agreed to similarly settle unrelated patent litigation involving a brand name drug Teva produced and delay the release of Mylan's proposed generic version of that medication. Teva and Pfizer denied wrongdoing. Pfizer agreed last year to settle for $345 million. Teva was not a defendant. Separately, India's Biocon Limited on Monday announced a $3.34 billion deal for Vitaris' biosimilars business. How many of you guys have EpiPens, and were you affected at all by the fact that they tried to raise the price on you from $100 to $600? What are you allergic to that cost you $600 to get it figured out? That is a lie. Hey, oof, mercy. Okay, we will dig into that a little bit. I don't have allergies like that, man, that I'm paying 600 bones to get resolved. That just seems excessive. We didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but I think we should. The UN put out a big report about the climate. It is being called a landmark report. And the United Nations paints a grim picture of the devastating toll that climate change is already taking on human beings and our ecosystem everywhere on our planet. The alarming assessment, produced by a global consortium of 270 scientists as part of the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, is a comprehensive analysis of how extreme weather events, rising seas, and other effects of global warming are threatening communities and the natural environment, and the future consequences if the world does not act quickly to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Um, Poll question. Oh, here we go. What are you doing, before I finish reading the story, what are you doing to fight climate change? That might sound like a big question, but everybody doing a little something could have some effect. Although, according to this story, we're already too late. We're going down very quickly. But what are you doing? Is it recycling in your town? Is it cutting down on the use of water? Is it not using a microwave? Is it not using aerosols? What is it that you're doing? Do you have an electric car? So I'm curious. The poll question is, what are you doing to affect climate change? And that could be good or bad, actually. How about that? Hit us up. If you're watching on YouTube, just leave it in the chat there. If you're checking us out on backchannel.tv, you can leave that answer in the chat there. You can also leave a review of all of the fine shows here on backchannel.tv. And if you are able, you can tell your Amazon supported device to do the same, to let you in the chat so that you can answer this question. Let me see here. Mark says, I'm allergic to the world. No, let me tell you what he said. He goes, you're allergic to the world, bro. No, I'm not. Sophia joined the stream. Gina as well. Thank you so much. Mark says he turns off the water when he brushes his teeth. They suggest that you do that. Wash your clothes in cold water. If you're washing anything, like, and you got the faucet running, just don't leave it running. Things like that. They do help. But this is far, far out of our hands. But we can do our part. UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez called the more than 3,600 page report an atlas of human suffering and a damning indictment of failed climate leadership. Quote, I know people everywhere are anxious and angry, he tweeted on Monday. Close quote. I am too. It's time to turn rage into hashtag climate action. Here are 7 key takeaways from the latest IPCC report. The effects of climate change are playing out faster than humans and ecosystems can adapt. Extreme events such as droughts, heat waves, and floods are expected to increase in a warming world, posing widespread and pervasive threats to humans, infrastructure, and natural environments around the world. The availability of food will be a big issue. Extreme events, again, droughts and floods have already exposed millions of people around the world to acute food and water insecurity, particularly in Africa, Asia, Central America, South America, and the Arctic, and small island nations, according to the report. Global warming poses a major risk to human health. Climate change is already causing death and suffering around the world, the report found. Billions of people are facing threats from severe heat waves and other extreme weather events, along with mounting food and water insecurity. Poor communities are the most vulnerable. The report outlined while no one is immune to the effects of climate change, the hardest hit people and places are the ones least able to cope. Poor countries that have contributed the least to human-caused climate change are being disproportionately affected by global warming, with low-income populations, indigenous communities, women, and children bearing the greatest burdens. And time is running out, essentially. Time is running out. We have to figure this out soon. Time is running out. I strongly urge everybody that can hear my voice to start looking at this like you look at everything else. Take it very seriously. We do way more damage to this planet, yet we're still on it. We don't deserve it. So we need to figure out how to treat it better. Quickly. Kelsey has joined us as well. Hey, Kelsey, how you doing? I'll get to it. I have to correct something I said yesterday about the president of Ukraine, who is no less dope. I just made a big error and attributed a quote to him that I shouldn't have. But to who it is attributed to, yeah, buddy. Um, Anybody out here using baby formula, infant formula? And there's a bunch of stuff going around today about infant formula, and it's not being good. We'll put it that way. This is from NPR, and it just starts with that advertisements will make me buy infant formula if I see a beautiful and chubby baby on TV, well fed and smiling. That's the feedback from a mother in Lagos, Nigeria, one of 8,500 mothers and pregnant women in 8 countries interviewed for a new report how marketing of formula milk influences our decisions on infant feeding, just released by the World Health Organization and UNICEF. The report focuses on marketing practices employed by companies that make up the $55 billion a year global infant formula business. I did not know that it made that much money. Hmm. This issue is far from new. In 1981, the World Health Assembly released the International Code of Marketing and Breast Milk Substitutes, a public health agreement whose goal was to stop the aggressive and inappropriate marketing of breast milk substitutes, according to the World Health Organization. The code was developed as a global public health strategy to ensure that mothers are not discouraged from breastfeeding and that substitutes are used safely if needed. But we got evidence that shows that they're not being used safely. Hmm. So that's amazing. That woman saw that report and was all in on buying formula. Okay, I suppose. Um, I always have to refer to the one person closest to me that has children. Bliss, you've got a lot of children. Yeah, I'm sure back in their formative years, there's a lot of things happening in your house in terms of trying to keep these children fed. When you hear that, it's not like people are saying it's dangerous and they make 50. How much of the $55 billion belongs to you? Do you think that you've contributed to this?
I was gonna say,
Wonderful.
well, I should get a little bit of money back.
You would think they'd offer you something.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of that kind of stuff anymore, though. That stuff's expensive, man. That
Yes.
it's like, I mean, for the most part, we did breastfeeding for at least early on. But then once they go into daycare and stuff, you got to start supplementing some stuff, and man, that stuff is not cheap.
No, I'm good. Not that I was told, because I don't remember. I was told that I was a Similac kid, and I was always very upset about that as I got older. I'm like, why'd y'all do that? Why didn't we go the other route? Why do I have to? Why? Because it was 1967, and everybody thought that the future was going to be like the Jetsons, and everyone's now disappointed. And that's really the truth. People thought in the 60s that it was going to be something crazy happening on Earth. And no. So far, the Similac hasn't hurt me. Still alive. And we'll see how it goes. 50 something years and counting on the Similac. You know? And we were talking a little bit earlier about in the headlines about the Ukraine. And I don't know if you've been to your gas pump lately, Bliss, but it's going up.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
It's going up, buddy. Oil prices popped more than 5% on news that Russia was launching a military attack in Ukraine. U.S. crude futures jumped by 5.23% to trade at $96.92 per barrel. Whew! Brent crude futures were up 5.4% at $102.07 per barrel, crossing the $100 level for the first time since 2014. Natural gas prices surged 5.39%. Spot gold, traditionally seen as a safe haven asset, rose 1.82% and last traded at $1,942.21. I don't know what gas is in Portland, and if I did a quick look out my window, it's four. Hold on, this is really unorthodox that I'm doing this. $4.29 a gallon here in Chicago, and I am sure that is not as expensive here in the city as it is in other places of the city. I cannot imagine. It's been a while since I drove a car. Paying $4.29 for a gallon of gasoline.
I think it's around $4 here, a
Woo!
little north of $4.
That is crazy talk.
Yeah,
Yesterday, and I'm glad you're here, Gliss. Yesterday, I attributed a quote to the president of the Ukraine. And I gave it to the wrong person. I said that there's a video of a grandmother who approached a Soviet soldier and was asking him why was he doing what he was doing. He was a young boy, and he's replying to her, talking to her, and she said, "Take these sunflower seeds and put them in your pocket. I cannot wait to watch them grow." That is ice cold grandma. That makes it even colder that a grandmother said it because she meant it. She was very nice. She wasn't like mad or yelling, screaming, or prostrating. She gave him the sunflower seeds and told him, "Put those in your pocket, son." That is still the coldest thing I've ever heard. Amazing. So I wanted to apologize. I attributed that quote to the wrong person. No point in getting him all kinds of props when they're not warranted. But moving on, the crisis hitting the Ukraine could create more trouble for the auto industry. Sanctions could stall production in Russia and the West. As the crisis in Ukraine escalates and President Joe Biden, who's speaking tomorrow night, by the way, I thought it was next week, puts in place new sanctions targeting the Russian economy, there could be substantial collateral damage to the auto industry, including automakers and part suppliers here in the US, in Europe, and Asia. Russia is one of the world's largest suppliers of several key metals, including palladium and nickel, used in auto manufacturing around the world. It's also home to a sizable manufacturing base, which includes a number of plants owned by foreign manufacturers like Stellantis, Volkswagen, and Toyota. With at least a quarter of the parts used in Russian made vehicles coming from abroad, including the US, those assembly plants could have trouble continuing to operate while sanctions are in place, according to analysts and industry officials. Um, I think it's safe to say, in the larger context of this war, everything is going to be affected soon. Nothing to the degree that the Russian economy has been affected, because the United States, the Allies, the EU, not the go-go band EU, but the European Union, have all but shut Russia down. They can't spend money anywhere, which is why Putin is freaking out and claiming he's going to do something more than he's capable of doing. Because he's like, what the hell? Well, you cut me off. Can you imagine getting cut off? Ethan's here, William's here. Mark says hello, Bliss, because he's a fan.
what's up, Mark?
Yeah, Mark came through yesterday. He's coming through today too. It's still early. I'm not worried about it. I got faith in you, Mark. I got faith in you. And I'm not going to do too much Ukraine stuff outside of the headline and what we did, but it just come on, man. Watch this fight. It's a fight. How long do you think it's going to last, Gliss, the Ukraine thing? Another week or two? Putin's mad.
I don't know. I can't see it lasting too much longer unless he's really just going to draw this out. I mean, the people of Russia are just as much of a victim now because they're out there hurting, and he's just making empty threats up until this point. So I would think that at some point he has to cave in a little bit, unless he just is going to go nuts and start doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But which is you could see happening, but
yeah, he could.
Hopefully not.
The incessant foot stomping that he's doing, and the fact that he keeps getting turned around by everybody except for China. China's still kind of like, we're not gonna get involved yet. We'll see how long that lasts. I don't see it lasting very long time. Not at all. You know how much I love space. You guys know I got a telescope and all that. Well, I have a story for you. SpaceX's latest adversary in its plans to launch a new fleet of satellites to beam internet from space is the U.S. government. SpaceX has withstood attacks from powerhouse competitors like Amazon in the internet space race, but now must overcome warnings from NASA that its fleet of second generation satellites can hamper asteroid detection work. SpaceX wants to launch up to 30,000 satellites for its Starlink internet service to improve the speeds and service from the roughly 2,000 satellites currently deployed in its first generation network. SpaceX has begun building the second generation of satellites, or Gen 2, in anticipation of launching as early as this month. The company is facing headwinds at both the Federal Communications Commission and the FAA. The FCC oversees SpaceX's use of the airwaves for beaming its signals, while the FAA has to give the company permission to operate its Starship Super Heavy launch vehicle. The completion of the environmental review will not guarantee that the FAA will issue a license for SpaceX to launch its Starship Super Heavy vehicle, the FAA said in a statement to Axios. SpaceX's license application must also meet FAA safety risk and financial responsibility requirements. Do we really need that much internet in space, yo? You got how much? 30,000 satellites flying around? What's the guarantee all 30,000 of these things are going to stay up in the air? Why is there 30,000 satellites required for internet use? And is it going to help my crappy internet out? Have you seen my internet? Didn't mean to yell. It's terrible. Mark, you're asking the golden question, bro. No, we don't. Just going to leave that right there. I don't want to get any deeper into that if you don't mind. Stop right there, Mark. You know what? That's not totally true. Occasionally, we might play some music. If Bliss wants to, that's up to him.
It's all, it's all a legal thing. I think there will be a time where we get to a place where we probably can play music, but there is licensing issues. You got to be careful what you play on the internet these days.
Yeah, I can't play the spoons on this platform.
No. What we could do is, reach out to people that we think are kind of up and coming that want to come on the show and, talk about their music and let us play some of their music. We can
probably do, yeah.
That kind of stuff we could do. And eventually I have found a way, there is some sort of way to behind the scenes create kind of a soundboard from my microphone.
Ooh, not like a codec. Like a codec?
So if we get to that point and we can make this kind of like a big board in a radio station, I think there is a way to do that. I've seen some emails go back and forth. I've asked about it before. So I think technically my microphone output could be used as a quote unquote mixer. To where we would have, different channels available to us to play snippets of, sound or music or whatnot. So I think that might be something that we'll see happen at some point.
That would be awesome.
Just got to get the technical side figured out on that bit.
There are so many crazy people talking. Let's just get them all on that thing and just punch away. State of the Union tomorrow. I know we said we were going to do something. What are we doing? Where we at? Where are we meeting up? You can all watch.
You're gonna be busy, man. You're gonna be shooting a movie or a TV show.
That's right. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow, and I will probably be shooting until very late tomorrow night.
I've seen how those things go. I lived in Los Angeles for 2 years when I was in middle school. My brother was actually a child actor.
Really?
And, yeah. Maybe someday we'll have him on to talk about it. He was on all kinds of shows. He was a small child at the time. He did the show Coach. He did the show Empty Nest. He did a couple pilots. He did Nash Bridges with Don Johnson.
Wow. That was my joint, Nash Bridges.
Yeah. So he did a bunch of stuff. He did some extra parts in movies like Patch Adams and stuff like that. He actually, I think I remember it better than he does. He was so young at the time. And he got out of it by the time he was in high school. So it's like kind of just this thing in the back of his mind for him. But I remember going to see
residual checks and stuff. Yeah,
he gets a little bit here and there. And
Sweet.
you know what's hilarious? The first thing he ever did, and the reason we moved to LA on the advice of the person that was kind of sending him out on these auditions at the time, it was a USA Network TV movie on the first bombing of the World Trade Center in '92.
Whoa. Yeah.
And he played it. There was a kindergarten class that got stuck in the elevators there, so he
Yeah.
played one of the kids. The movie had the lady from The Nanny. I can't remember her
Fran
name. Right.
Drescher?
Yeah, Fran Dresser,
Okay.
and a young George Clooney before he was famous. But the hilarious part about this movie, and to show how low budget it was, even though it was about the bombing of the World Trade Center in New York City, they shot it at the World Trade Center in Portland, Oregon. So, I mean, most of it, they did a lot of, outer shots from New York City. But as far as the filming location, it was actually a shot inside of a building here, and then in some parts, I think, of a parking garage in downtown Portland.
Wow.
It's hilariously good and bad. I actually have a copy still, and it's just like that typical '90s TV movie.
Oh yeah, with the big hair.
Comedy
and stuff.
gold. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna have to look that up and check that out.
Terror in the Towers. That's what it's called. USA Network.
Oh, I remember that movie. Yes, I do. Because I used to think that was
really
like, why are they Terror in the Tower? Wow. And that's your brother. Okay. Yeah, we got to get him on one day. And your brother-in-law wants to fight me. So that's cool.
Do the soccer talk. Yeah.
Yeah, soccer talk. We can even get a graphic for it too.
But you're going to have to tell us all about, I mean, I know you can't disclose too many details, but you're going to have to fill us in on Thursday and let us know how everything.
Oh yeah. When I believe that I'll be able to start talking about it, perhaps like in depth and really talk about it. Maybe even get the directors on, because I'm sure they do that. And once they wrap and they get everything done, but I will be able to share with you my adventures of the craft services, because that's the best part of all of it. I think I'm playing a photographer.
I like that.
I think so. Yeah,
that's a good role.
I don't have to say anything. So yeah, right. And I was like, don't put any real film in that camera, because it's because I'm gonna mess it up. Before we hit the break, oh no, I'm sorry. Let me go back. I am very excited about it. I have to be up pretty early tomorrow, but I won't be here tomorrow for the show. I'm sure some people are pretty happy about that. Robert will be here in my place, not here in Chicago. He'll be wherever he is. He won't tell me where he lives either, Bliss. So wherever he is, he's going to be there, or he could be anywhere in the world, because he anywhere. He just like you likes to just poof. I'm out. I'm gone.
He's already given me crap in our corresponding emails, so it should be interesting.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it when I come home.
His most recent email was regarding a person that he's gonna have on, and I gave him a response to something because I was looking for a particular email, and he said, I can't remember what it was. He called me, but he said he's gonna expose me to the world tomorrow. So
I bet it had something to do. I think I know what it is. It has something to do with basketball, probably. Yeah, he's heard you say you hate the Lakers. He's a Laker fan, so.
Oh, I know he is.
I got on my Anaheim hat today. I wore this for Hal.
I saw that. I was watching in my kitchen, getting a little power snack while I watched you guys going back and forth a little bit. So
that was really cool, man. I had a ball doing that. I'd like to do that again. I think we do it again on Friday. Actually.
You will do it again on Friday. Yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah, get to talk to Hal.
So that's if you like both shows, there you go. That's like.
Why leave?
10 minutes of your day right there.
That's right. And then you'll still get rejected segments from Hal, because that is gold. And you gotta watch it, because you know what I almost did, and then we're gonna take a break. I almost bought. I shouldn't be telling this. I almost bought him a Dairy Queen gift card. I was this close to doing it, but I didn't do it because I was like, how am I gonna get his address to just like mail it to him? But I might still do it. If we ever have this big company gathering, I'm bringing a Dairy Queen gift card with me for him, not for anybody else, only for Hal. And we're going to drink Shirley Temples and have thrilling discussions about things. When we come back, we will have our community report, and there's so much happening today. So I want you to stay tuned. Thank you to everybody who's watching us here on the drive. That's Bella, Dr. Crutchfield, Mark, Gina, William, Avi, Sharon, Kenneth, everybody. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. You're watching the drive on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and your Amazon supported devices. We will be right back. Welcome back to the drive, everybody. It's Mario, and this is really rich. And welcome to the community report, by the way. A former North Carolina police chief who was charged with more than 70 felony crimes is accused of staging suicide and fleeing to South Carolina, where he was arrested, officials announced. And before I go any further, you know how we do Florida, man? I promise you, there's nothing like North Carolina, man. This dude hold on. William Anthony Spivey, 36, who served as chief of the Chadbourne Police Department, was relieved of duty last spring due to a misconduct investigation by the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations, the Horry County Police Department said in a news release. His charges included evidence mishandling, drug trafficking, and embezzling, police said. Nearly a year after the charges were announced, he was reported missing on February 21st, last known to be on a fishing trip in the Lumber River in Columbus County, North Carolina. The Columbus County Sheriff's Office was alerted about an abandoned boat, prompting the investigation and an extensive water search by multiple local and state agencies. North Carolina wildlife officers spoke to people in the area and learned Spivey was last seen driving a truck in the area and owned the abandoned boat in the Lumber River. Sheriff's Office investigators also spoke to Spivey's friends and family at the scene. Quote, family members described the incident as a possible suicide, close quote, the Columbus County Sheriff's Office said in a news release. Investigators found handwritten letters at the scene and a .22 caliber rifle with a discharged round still in the rifle. However, investigators concluded the evidence collected didn't support a suicide scenario. Further, video collected from surveillance systems and interviews made it more apparent that the scene on the river was staged. On Wednesday, warrants were issued for Spivey's arrest for failure to report to court, and he was entered as missing and wanted, the Sheriff's Department said. A break in the case came when the Horry County Police Department in South Carolina received a tip Wednesday regarding Spivey and contacted the Columbus County Sheriff's Office. Together, they said they found Spivey on Thursday at an apartment outside of the small city of Loris, South Carolina. He attempted to flee into some nearby woods before he was ultimately arrested, officials said. He is currently being held at the Columbus County Detention Center with no attorney listed, according to jail records. The Sheriff's Office said Spivey has 40 outstanding warrants for failure to appear, and each warrant has a bond of $25 million. Nope. $25,000. That would be great if it would have been $25 million. $25,000, bringing his total bond to $1 million. WECT of Wilmington, North Carolina reports Spivey was arrested in April of 2021, accused of repeatedly raiding the Chadburn Police Department's evidence room and stealing narcotics, thousands of dollars in cash, and firearms. In June, he was charged with allegedly embezzling $8,000 meant for the family of a leukemia patient. Then in January, he was arrested again, charged with stealing catalytic converters. Okay, stop right there. Hey, Gliss, can you show the picture of this man? Because the catalytic converters is the hook.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't do this earlier, but the catalytic converters thing, I think people need to see his face. Because my man he looks like he's been through it a little bit. There may be some video to this that I don't want, but he looked like he had a run of bad luck with meth. Maybe he was involved in the white onion meth caper that Scooby and Shaggy solved yesterday on the border. He looks like that was a lot of fun being had by my man there, William Anthony Spivey. We want the citizens to know that no matter the situation, we must respond accordingly. In this case, a person was reported missing. It is our duty to do all we can to preserve life and locate the missing person, the Columbus County Sheriff Office said in a statement. We are thankful that we have the resources to do so. Spivey was found alive and well. We consider that a job well done. But if your chief is stealing narcotics, how does that work? Nobody noticed that my man was looking different? Narcotics are narcotics, son. They're not candy. He was stealing narcotics. Did anybody say who? What's up with Spivey? Chief Spivey looks crazy. Money missing? Evidence missing? Spivey. Oh well, fired. That's his name. His name is I'm Fired because I'm crazy and I'm losing my mind. This is a terrible story in California that happened. A father kills his 3 children, a chaperone, and himself during a supervised visit last night in a church just outside of Sacramento. The gunman's children were 15 and younger, officials said last night. Law enforcement sources said the shooter used an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle. Sheriff Scott Jones said at an evening news conference that the mother of the 3 was notified of the tragedy while she was out of town. The adult appointed by a court to supervise the visit was likely to have been someone amiable to both mother and father, he said. It, quote, is obviously behind anyone's rational comprehension, close quote. The sheriff said, adding, you just don't know what people are capable of. Authorities described the father as the subject of a restraining order, possibly as part of a domestic case, but many details remained subject to investigation. That just knocked me down last night. That is, there are people who can't have children in the world. And this dude had kids and he was still able to see them. He decided, I'm killing them all. I'm going to kill myself too. Wow. That is, that's sad. That is very, very, very sad. I don't know what do you say behind that. You know what I mean? I guess you could say if it doesn't work, fellas or ladies, with the person you had these children by, think about your children. Do you care at all about your children? It's awful, man. Absolutely awful. All right, to change the subject and elevate the mood, because that is, it's Fat Tuesday. Mardi Gras. Revelers decked out in traditional purple, green, and gold came out to party on Fat Tuesday in New Orleans. It's the first full dress Mardi Gras since 2020. The fun includes back-to-back parades across the city and marches through the French Quarter and beyond with masks against COVID-19 required only in indoor public spaces. Gliss, you ever been to Mardi Gras in New Orleans?
I have never been to New Orleans. No.
I haven't either. And I had it in my head that I didn't want to go to New Orleans. I wanted to go to Carnival in Brazil.
Okay.
For a whole lot of reasons. But I want to go to Brazil when this happens. But a friend of mine just came back from New Orleans, did a pre-Mardi Gras thing. And she was like, dude, I have to dry out. This is too much for me. I gotta not do this. And she said it was wild down there and there were no beads happening. So I can only imagine the Mardi Gras revelers are going down. You know, I want to go though. I would go. I'd go if it was like, again, class trip. Me, you, Travis, Hal, who lives married, but we take her anyway. We get Allison and Haley to fly back here to America, and just everybody. We get Sir Anthony Davis. Oh, that'd be great. Jam and Renee could lead the parade. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm into.
You know, that's the first time since I've started doing this that I named everybody's name without looking at a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, we're on show number 30, right?
Episode 30.
Episode 30.
Yeah, look at us. Yes. Almost time to retire.
We're just
we made it. We made it such a long way in such a short period of time. And thank you to all you guys for checking us out. Let's see. Alexis has joined the stream from Devon. Whoa. Okay. What's up? What were you about to say, brother?
I was gonna give you Spivey real quick because
Oh yeah, please do. Look at that face. That doesn't look like a dude that everybody should have been a little suspicious of. Look at him. Nothing's wrong with him. Spivey's fine. He's not taking all the narcotics. Hey, Spivey.
He looks like a guy that.
He looks high in that picture. Right now. Come on. Hey,
he's
Spivey.
Got that like classic cops look.
Mixed with meth. He's part of the White Onions meth caper, I'm telling you. But he does have he has the classic I can't even fake my own death right look on his face. Like, how'd you guys find me? Because the only way that works is if you actually do it. You can't fake suicide, man. Because somebody that's smarter than you is gonna be like, he's not dead. He's alive.
Talked to him last night.
I saw him yesterday at the Piggly Wiggly. He's okay. He was at Harris Teeter. He's fine. He's alive. You can't. You faking your death. You're stealing stuff from the. Hey man, that dude. Yeah, $1 million bail. Look at him. Just look at him. 70 felonies. How do you amass 70 felonies in your life, let alone in like a couple of weeks?
After being the police chief.
And still, I can't get this
next level stuff.
Still, that is all the crime, and can you imagine how many people are in jail under false pretenses because of this dude and drugs?
Oh, no.
He was probably getting paid from drug dealers. 36-year-old police chief. I'm just saying, my police chief's got to be, older. I have a rule. In rural areas, they got to be, hard scrabble, real thick country accent, and in cities, they have to be a little bit overweight and black police captains, like television. That was really terrible that I said that out loud. That was bad. That was so bad. Well, hey. Anyway, Mardi Gras. Next on the list, and that's in New Orleans, of course. Here's a good one. In Anchorage, Alaska, a man was saved after clinging to an ice chunk on the Cook Inlet. Again, this is in Alaska, in Anchorage. An Alaska man walking on a shoreline wound up clinging to a chunk of ice for more than 30 minutes in frigid water when the shoreline ice broke loose and carried him out into Cook Inlet. Jamie Snedden, 45 of Homer, was rescued Saturday near the community of Anchor Point on the Kenai Peninsula. He was taken to a hospital where he was treated for hypothermia. He was expected to fully recover, Alaska Wildlife Troopers said. Sneddon, quote, was reported to have been walking along the shoreline on the ice when it broke free and drifted into Cook Inlet with the outgoing current, close quote, Trooper spokesman Tim Despain said in an email to the AP on Monday. Sneddon was swept about 300 yards out into the inlet near the mouth of the Anchor River. Alaska Wildlife Trooper Jeremy Baum arrived and saw only Sneddon's head and arms visible above water as he clung to the ice chunk. And then that sheriff from North Carolina popped up and went, "Hey, man, they think I'm dead down there." Sorry. Sneddon was not wearing any type of personal flotation device. The fishing vessel Misty, of course, was about 3 miles away and responded to an urgent Marine broadcast seeking help. The Misty arrived about the same time as Baum, who launched an inflatable pack raft and rowed to Sneddon's location. Sneddon was pulled aboard the Misty with assistance from the ship's captain Shane Balkley. Balkley? What? And his clients. Man, the AP. Maybe Spivey's writing these papers for these articles for the AP. Without their help, it would have been much more challenging to rescue Sneddon and get him to EMS as quickly as we did, Baum said. Sneddon was conscious and breathing, but very hypothermic after being in the cold water between 30 and 40 minutes. The U.S. Coast Guard reported the air temperature was 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Whew, he's lucky. And the water was 38 degrees Fahrenheit, still very, very cold. The Misty maneuvered to within 100 yards of the Anchor Point boat launch area to meet awaiting medics. Sneddon was transferred to the Misty's 8-foot inflatable raft using both the smaller pack raft and the Misty raft. Baum rowed Sneddon back to shore. Attempts money to contact Sneddon were not immediately successful. You think he wants to talk to somebody? He almost died. What is the conversation? Glenn said, "Hey, how you doing? So, Mr. Sneddon, we understand that you were clinging to your life, the very breath of your life, on an ice cliff. Can you? What happened?" "I was clinging on ice." I was in the water.
You just said it, and I'm still in shock.
I'm still scared to death. I think I may have even used the bathroom on myself several times during the whole ordeal. What do you want me to say that you haven't already? What can we say about this that we haven't said about a sheriff that's got 70 felonies in North Carolina? That's crazy talk. Wowzers, man, there's so much going on in the world, brother. We're going to come back with headlines and whatnot in a minute, but let's see what the passengers are doing, Bliss, because, we gotta. Mark says that Sheriff Spivey doesn't look like he knows what's happening. Spot on.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Karina has joined the stream. Hey, Mark said that you're not retiring on my watch. That's a strong statement there. Okay. You say so.
Is he an investor?
He must be, because he said that with great confidence. No, you're not.
I just made sure you guys are getting a raise. If that's what's happening, then sure, yeah. Stay
He said he'll teleport here. I'm always nervous when people tell me that they do things like teleport.
Part of you just believes it enough, like
it's just enough. I mean, yeah. There's a part of me that's like, oh, here we go. This guy's gonna teleport here and scare me while I'm trying to eat or doing something I have no business doing in front of people. And it's like, oh, hey, you showed up in my home. Hey, look at you. Okay, cool. Let's take a break. That's what we'll do. Someone just sent me a crazy text. Play Game says yes. Fair. Alexis, you're in Devon. How are you? Welcome to the show. Truly appreciate you being here. I love the fact that people all over the place are checking us out. Marquise is in Washington, Enrique's in Massachusetts. Of course, our buddy Mark is in Georgia. We've got folks in Northern Virginia. That's Bella. And Dr. Crutchfield's in Minnesota. Tell your friends to come and hang out with us here on The Drive. When we come back, we'll give you headlines, and we'll also give you entertainment news in this hour of sports. And we've got a story about a green dog. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It's hour 2 of The Drive with Mario Smith. I am him. You are looking live in Chicago, Illinois. And we are glad that you're here with us today. We're about to give you news and comment and have some fun and all that. If you were here for the first hour of the show, thank you. If you're just joining us, thank you. We really appreciate you all being here. And we run Monday through Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. Eastern Time. My man in Portland, Oregon, who's keeping the wheels turning here on this show. His name is Gliss. What's up, Jay Gliss?
Not much.
Yeah.
Staying hydrated.
Look at you.
Getting off my medication. So I'm just
your magic pills.
my magic.
Your magic pills are over with.
I stopped. I stopped the painkillers. I got my checkup right after the show. So.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully they'll be like, yeah, you're good to go. Start physical therapy on Friday, and I'll be back in no time.
I'm not gonna keep you long.
Dunking on children in the neighborhood.
Please, man.
On the 7-foot hoop.
Always, yes. Even make it lower. Make it where they can dunk too. Make it where they can dunk too, but just every time you just bowl them over. They're children. They'll be fine. They'll heal up quick. Life lessons. Give you character building. The headlines really quickly. Russia still hasn't used its full might, the U.S. cautions. The latest developments here on the Russia-Ukraine war. The U.S. today injected a strong note of caution into the persistent reports that Russian military progress, including by the massive convoy outside of Kyiv, has slowed, plagued by food and fuel shortages and logistical problems. And another story that's breaking, the Major League Baseball Players Union has rejected MLB's, quote, best and final offer, close quote, to end the sports lockout before the league's deadline to avoid canceled games. MLB made its last offer about 90 minutes before a self-imposed 5 p.m. deadline. That would be 5 p.m. Eastern time deadline today. The league has threatened to cancel opening day on March 31st without a deal by then. But join me for a second, Gliss. They're the ones who imposed the all of this is them. This isn't the players doing any of this. This is them. You think the players, okay, I get that the players will miss money if they miss a day, but who, if you're not in San Diego, Los Angeles, Texas, Florida, or Minnesota, you could miss a month. I don't care. I'm not the one that wants to play in the cold anyway. Miss a whole month. What is going on? This is so stupid. So stupid.
It is stupid, and I just want them to figure it out. I'm ready. There's this, especially once we're a couple weeks removed from football. We got college basketball coming up, and then postseason basketball. But I love this time of year. Baseball is. There's something just so unique about spring training and about getting the baseball season underway. I love watching almost every single game. I usually get the package and watch a lot of the Giants games throughout the season. So it's kind of a bummer if you're a baseball fan because you want them to figure this out. I agree with you. They probably don't want to play right now. It is cold, but come on, they're just like little kids at heart. They want to go out there and play some baseball just as much as the fans want to see them play.
Now, but here's the other part, man. The players did not strike. This is all the owners. These deadlines are phony. These times are phony. All this is phony. Look, none of this matters, man, because the people who started it can end it anytime that they want. The owners don't care if they miss a month of having to pay people because they don't make their money during the regular season anyway. And another thing, if we're being really honest, 162 games is a lot of games. You can make it 105 games, and you could have something if you got a 105 game season. That would be a whole different kind of ballgame. That would also allow you to actually have these games end in October and not in November, which is stupid because baseball is not going to be played in the winter.
And we've kind of talked about that, just like, how baseball has been willing to kind of negotiate some of the traditions it has, which I think is a good thing at this point. I would have been against some of them 10 years ago, but if they need to shorten the season, it's not going to bother me. I still get to watch baseball every day. It's one of my favorite things about baseball. Your
Yes.
team loses a game and it's like, oh well, they play again at noon tomorrow. You know,
You get right back
and
at
we
it the
got
next
so and so
day.
on the mound, and that's the
That's
best part
right.
about baseball. But
That's right.
you could still keep that, and like you said, have the length of the season be much shorter. I think we would have just as good of an idea if you were to go look at the last couple seasons. Probably a lot of the teams that end up in the postseason, anyways, are probably in that position with 60 days left in the season. So
right. So if you of a 162 games, let's say you make it 135 games, that's still a lot of baseball, and you can still make some pretty clear decisions on how things are going to go. That gives you enough time for spring training. In other words, you're cutting out a month of the season. Okay,
especially
no
with
baseball.
And especially with how they've kind of opened up the format for the playoffs with the wild card and all that stuff. Because they've done all that, those are the games that matter. Those are the games you want to get the opportunity to play in. So, the more meaningful games we have, the better. So, you're probably right. We could lose probably a third of the season and still
be fine.
Be perfectly happy as baseball fans.
And if you're the USFL, you're like, strike. I mean, keep them locked out. That gives more eyeballs to us. And there are people who aren't in my age group or even your age group who don't. They will leave baseball because this will be like, why are they doing this? And there's nobody that can answer that question. They'll be like, screw baseball. I'll wait for the NFL. The combine is happening. NFL makes news every day. Major League Baseball, these owners don't get it, man. And it would be different if the players had walked out. They got locked out. So this is all these. We got a 5 p.m. deadline. No, you don't. No, you don't. There is no deadline. You can go right back to the negotiating table in the next 10 minutes, and this can be resolved. Baseball, the owners are messing this up, not the players, not at all. When we come back, can I get a 90, by the way, Gliss? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Thank you. I have to make a move. When we come back, we will have the entertainment report, and we'll talk about some things in the wonderful world of entertainment. We'll be right back in a bit. It's The Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv. You're also watching on YouTube, and your Amazon-supported devices are allowing you to hear it, and we appreciate it. We'll be right back after these words. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Mark. Welcome back to the drive with Mario Smith. Gliss, you see what Mark's doing? And Kobe's here. Kobe hasn't been here in a while. You see what Mark is doing, bro? He said, "I'm eating garlic rolls right now, bro." I don't know what that means. I don't know what context that should be taken in either. But okay, those sound delicious. What's up, Kobe? Where have you been? Are you cheating on me with other shows? No, I'm kidding, because you're on everybody's show. Ah, man. But you now I'm hungry, Mark. I want some food. You said garlic rolls. That sounds delicious. Mark, you should meet Kobe. Kobe is in Alabama. Mark is in Georgia. Kobe is, again, like I said, Alabama Row Tide. I was supposed to say that every time I say Alabama. It's cool to have Kobe back, man. I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm gonna have to check these other shows to see where you've been. All right. I don't know what you're doing. I'll find out. Oh, that was funny. Mark said he's eating garlic rolls right now, bro. It sounded so aggressive when I read it. I was just like, damn, that's okay.
Okay.
My man. Good. Sounds good.
We got it.
I had a ginger ale.
I love ginger.
I like ginger beer better.
Me too. Ginger beer's a
I'd
step
rather
up.
Yeah, I'm bougie. So ginger beer, I'm not bougie. The ginger beer is a little bit more, has a little bit more to it.
It has the bite to it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite ginger beer?
Gosling is the ginger beer.
We usually have some cock and bull in the
Hey now.
pantry.
Hey now. hey now.
And that usually goes in a glass with some bourbon.
Yeah. I am a dark and stormy guy myself.
Okay.
Yeah. But let the record show. I am going to have to probably slow down on all that stuff because this weekend wasn't good. Like I mentioned yesterday, I was so in my head about my friend,
Sure.
and I mean, like really in my head, and I had to think about that all morning today. Like, dude, what are you? Folks, I am not trying to like do Alcoholics Anonymous or anything on you. Just saying, if you recognize that there's something going on and it's not making you feel right, then maybe it might be time to kind of figure it out. I just need to one, not be so upset about. And then went to a memorial last night, which made me even sadder. Just like, yo, okay. And then a local paper here in the neighborhood put out a big story about my buddy, and it was sad. That's not why any of you came here, though. You came here to hear entertainment news, and I'm going to give it to you, because if I don't, Bliss is going to be upset. Kobe and Mark are trying to have conversation with each other. Good. Kobe said, "What's up, Mark?" And Mark said, "I don't know, Kobe. This is great. We are on our way." Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Someone named your mom has joined the stream. All right. This is where it gets dicey. Okay, I'm just going to stop right there. Anybody down for Batman, the new Batman movie? Is that what we're doing? Robert Pattinson says he isn't morally opposed to superhero films, but he wasn't exactly seeking them out before the Batman came along either. It looks good. I'm interested in it. I'm intrigued by the look of the Batman. Who is that woman that is playing in the Batman? Do we know her name? It's not the great Zendaya.
No,
she?
but I can find it for you.
Could you please? Because I'm going to say it, and it's going to come out like she is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. She is beautiful.
Okay, well, you're talking about the woman.
That's Zoe
correct?
Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz. That's
holy smoke! That sure is Zoe Kravitz, because I see her mom. I'm looking now. Oh
Lenny
my!
Kravitz and Lisa Bonet. Look at that.
Yeah, and she looks just like her mom. Whoa, that's crazy. She is. Okay, so the world watched her actually. Not watched her grow up, but was aware of her. There's an episode of The Cosby Show when Lisa Bonet had her baby, and they referred to a character by the name of Zoe, and it was Zoe Kravitz. That's Zoe Kravitz. Whew. Sweet honey in the rock. She's fine, man. That girl is fine, son. She is gorgeous. I'm intrigued by this Batman though. You know, they say it's going to be a little bit edgier, a little bit darker, but I don't know if you need to go edgier or darker. The not the 1960s, which I love, not the 1966 campy purple suit Batman, but Batman in general is already a pretty dark and brooding character. You don't really need to dress him up too much. Richard Patterson is a weird enough dude where this is going to work, I think. You think? I mean, poll question, ding. Who's going to go see Batman? Who is going to go watch the Batman? I'm sorry. Kobe said, I like Batman. Mark said, Baba, 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 Batman. Number one. My man, you say you're still 11. I don't believe you. I don't believe that you're 11 anymore. That's a lie.
I like that.
You see that? That's good, isn't it? Batman. Oh, man. That's awesome. He said, sorry, I've got plans. You're 11 and you got what are you doing? Oh, I have so many questions for this young man. Gotta get him on.
Someone named Tim is also in on the Batman conversation here.
He says he's a little Batman out. I don't blame you. I mean, I can see that. But Zoe Kravitz, yo. Okay, fellas, if you don't know, look at some of these scenes in this Batman movie. Mark's got a hot date.
He did say
you're 11. He did say, he mentioned he had a girlfriend. You're 11 years old. So, you know what? Screw what we're doing. Where you guys going on your date? I'd like to know that. How much money are you planning on spending?
Breakdown. Yeah. Let's get a breakdown.
Yeah. On this date of yours.
What 11-year-olds are doing on their dates these days.
I dare not ask. Hey, Margie in Washington, what's up? What everybody? Marietta Square. Okay, you guys are going, okay, that's cool. This sounds like an interesting date. Kobe's like, I want to know. Me too. So the Batman is appearing in theaters very, very soon. This week, I believe. I think I'm going to go see it. I think I'm going to give Batman a shot. See what's going on with the Batman. It's the Batman, by the way. Stephen Colbert last night on his show gave his producer, Chris Licht, a wonderful send-off. He offered a nice little statement to him. He told him, I love you. And after a career that had been entirely in news, Licht was appointed executive producer of The Late Show in 2016. After a rocky first year with Colbert at the helm, he steadied the ship behind the scenes, and the show jumped to the top of the ratings, propelled by the host's biting takedowns of then-President Donald Trump. On Monday, Discovery CEO David Zaslav announced that Licht will replace Jeff Zucker as head of CNN, likely in May. That's when Discovery's corporate takeover of Warner Media, CNN's parent company, is expected to be complete. Prior to joining Colbert, Licht had been executive producer of the CBS This Morning news show, and before that, helped develop and produce Morning Joe with Joe Scarborough at MSNBC. 6 years ago, when I met Chris over drinks, he seemed right for the job, Colbert said on his show. But this is true. I wasn't sure if I would like him. Colbert said he and the Late Show crew were showbiz types, and Chris is not. But he and Licht approached the job with humility and showed the difference between being a boss and a leader. Quote, I didn't know whether I'd like him, but 6 years later, I love you, he said, addressing his producer who stood just off stage. I love you not for what you did for us, but because that will continue. I love you for the man you are, the doting, thoughtful, and loving father and husband to your family, and the dear friend to me for the rest of my life. I'm interested in seeing what happens at CNN. This is going to be a thing because they had been so heavy on not being, on telling the truth. You know, the whole thing during the Trump administration is we're the truth and we're not Fox News and and it ran a lot of people away from watching CNN, and everything's kind of slanted. And I'm talking about people who consider themselves Democrats as well. So a lot of like, I don't, hand wringing and and what have you, and not the best, not the best. But we'll see what happens. Mark's Alexa crashed. Oh, ultimate bubble. Not just any old Batman. Tim says the Batman exactly, and that should be fun. When we come back, we're going to play ball as we are a little bit behind. Let's get to it. It's the Drive with Mario Smith here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. And we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Drive. Major League Baseball has canceled opening day. This just coming in with Commissioner Rob Manfred announcing just moments ago the sport will lose regular season games over a labor dispute for the first time in 27 years after acrimonious lockout talks collapsed in the hours before management's deadline. Manfred said he is canceling the first two series of the season that was set to begin March 31st, dropping the schedule from 162 games to likely 156 games at most. Manfred said the league and the union have not made plans for future negotiations. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. And I'm going to move on because I don't want to talk about this anymore because it's really making me angry. This is some BS. You, Rob Manfred, you represent the owners. There is no arbitrary commissioner here. He represents the owners. You locked out the players. You set these phony deadlines. And now you're like, well, we don't know when we're going to talk again. That's a bunch of you know what. How about this? No one cares. I don't care if you never play again. Screw you, you jerk. You're the worst. You're worse than that dumb Count Chocula in the NHL. Idiot. Ugh. I would tell you how I really feel, but I want my job. FIFA and UEFA yesterday announced that they will suspend Russia's national and club teams from all international competition until further notice due to the country's invasion of Ukraine. It follows a slew of boycotts and condemnation by sports organizations in response to Russia's unprovoked attack on Ukraine. UEFA added in a separate announcement that it is ending its partnerships with Russian oil giant Gazprom across all competitions effective immediately. Quote, football is fully united here and in full solidarity with all the people affected in Ukraine, the organizations wrote in a statement. Both presidents hope that the situation in Ukraine will improve significantly and rapidly so that football can again be a vector for unity and peace amongst people. The Poland, Czech Republic, and Sweden soccer federations last week said they will not participate in World Cup qualifier matches slated to take place in Russia next month. FIFA announced on Sunday that no international soccer matches will be played in Russia, with home matches for the Russian team being played on neutral territory with no spectators. At the time, it said that Russian national teams will be allowed to play in tournaments, but under the name of Football Union of Russia without any flag or anthem used during games. The association added that at the time, it was in an ongoing dialogue with other sports organizations, including the IOC, to determine whether Russia would be excluded from competitions. Russia was scheduled to play against Poland in a qualifying match on March 24th. If the suspension lasts until that date, the team will be excluded from the World Cup. And that is a trend that seems to be catching on with a lot of these European sports leagues and zoning Russia completely out. Cain Velasquez, a former UFC heavyweight champion, was arrested for attempted murder. The former UFC champ was arrested yesterday for attempted murder and booked into Santa Clara County Jail in California, the San Jose Police Department announced this morning. Velasquez is being held without bail per online records. He has a court date set for tomorrow. The San Jose Police Department announced yesterday evening that there was a shooting in the city near the intersection of Monterey Highway and Bailey Avenue. Police said one adult male was shot at least once and transported to a hospital with non-life threatening injuries. On Tuesday, police identified Velasquez as the shooter. Quote, the motives and circumstances surrounding this incident are still under investigation at this time, per the San Jose Police Public Information Twitter account. Velasquez, 39, is a two-time former UFC heavyweight champion, holding the title in 2010 and then again from 2012 to 2015. The California native is considered one of the top heavyweight fighters of all time. Velasquez retired from MMA in 2019 and has been coaching at his longtime gym, American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. Velasquez's team has not responded to a call for comment as of this morning. After his run in the UFC, Velasquez took up professional wrestling, first in Mexico, where his parents were born, and then in WWE. He was released by WWE at the outset of the pandemic in 2020, but resurfaced for Mexican promotion AAA in December. The plan, sources said, was for him to wrestle more this year. That's horrible news. I remember him as a fighter. Pretty decent. Bliss, did you check out John Morant last night? Did you see what that man did?
I've been checking him out every night.
That's incredible.
He's fun to watch, man.
He is so much fun to watch. You know, when the draft happened, that's the Zion Williamson draft, and I was like, man, the Bulls have a chance to get John Morant. I was like, let's go. And then the Bulls draft pick went from 4 to 7, and they ended up with Kobe White. I'm not terribly upset about that, but John Morant in a Bulls uniform would have been great. He did some things last night in one game that people don't do in a whole career. He had the dunk of the decade last night. I'm calling it. He jammed on my man so hard. He came down off the dunk and just kind of looked at him like, man, son, I'm sorry. And then he walked away. He got a a full court pass from Aquaman, where he was standing right on the end line, shot it off the backboard from the side. I mean, a 360 layup a couple of nights in Chicago. Just everything he does is so athletic. My fear, because he reminds me a lot of Derrick Rose with a better shot, and my fear is there's only so long that the human knees can do that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying don't do it, because I love being entertained, but I am saying it's only so long that can happen. So if you guys aren't on John Morant, you should be. Watch him play. It is spectacular what he's doing. And he keeps saying I am I am him. That is his line. And poor Zion Williamson, he's pretty much ate himself out of basketball. But I would be proud to take him. I'd take him tomorrow. I'd take him tomorrow. Because the Bulls need some help. They got crushed last night by the Miami Warm. I also don't like them either, Gliss, just so you know. The Heat, not at all.
I kind of figured.
Never liked them. Tim Hardaway grew up around my house, and I've known Tim a long time, and I didn't speak to him when he played for Miami. I couldn't. I was just like, you're my man, but I got to leave you alone.
Yeah, my coach was from Chicago. He used to talk about Tim Hardaway and Derek Coleman and Juwan Howard, those guys.
You know, man, I don't know if I could get Nuki, that would be Juwan, on the show, but I will try, because it'll probably be well after the tournament is over. We'll figure it out. Just to run through these these comments real quick. Tim says more concerts at baseball stadiums this summer, I guess. Yeah, probably. And no MLB. Whatever, man. I'm screwed. At the NFL Combine, players and agents are now questioning its relevance. The league's annual talent evaluation has become primetime viewing, but disputes over protocols and the rise of other scouting forums have prompted some to call for an overhaul. Why are we doing the Combine anyway? Is there a real reason to do it anymore? We're doing this for 40 years. It's basically like an auction. It looks odd because it is odd. Why are we still doing the Combine? For 40 years, college football players hoping to be drafted by an NFL team have shown off their speed, strength, and personalities at the league's most important talent evaluation, the scouting combine. But recent changes to the event, which began today, the rise of pro days on college campuses and private workouts, and concerns over the inequity of the combine itself have led to a growing number of calls for the showcase to be fundamentally overhauled, even as the NFL has sought to increase commercializing what many of its executives refer to as a job interview to become pro. But if I can invite you to come see me at where I play college ball, why do I need to go to the combine? It's just like, why, if I'm a senior and I'm expected to be a top draft pick, why do I play in a bowl game to risk injuring myself and messing my chances up? Why am I trying to prove to you in front of all these other people at the combine that I can run fast? You come see me run anywhere. It doesn't make any sense to me. It seems a little excessive, and maybe it's just me, but I honestly do not see the value anymore in having the combine.
I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I get why you do it, because you get everybody in one place. Sure. You get to indoctrinate them into the NFL style. But if I can say to you, hey man, you got to come to Chicago, or you got to come to Alabama, and you get a chance to talk to my coach, right? You get a chance to talk to everybody that's met me in Alabama and it knows what I'm like, and I've been here 4 years and whatever. Why would I go to Indianapolis?
Especially if you are, projected as a, top 3 round pick or something like that. I mean, if you're, it seems like the players holds, a lot of the destiny in their own. I mean, we've seen it with a lot of quarterbacks the last couple of years that are refused to do the combine, and they instead do some sort of pro day type of thing. Because, I mean, if you're someone like Justin Herbert coming out of college, you're going to be a first round draft pick in the NFL. It's kind of like, well, I mean, you're going to come to me. Like, I know where I'm going. Someone's going to pick me high.
Somebody will pick me.
Yeah. I can kind of see it for some of the later rounds, but again, it seems like it makes more sense to have a pro day, and I don't know if they're trying to throw them off and make them a little bit more uncomfortable to, as you said, kind of get used to the NFL and that setting and stuff like that. But it seems like you're going to see a player at their best in a situation where they can kind of, show some of the drills you want to see them do for their position. You can still do their 40 time and whatnot, but some of it is kind of ridiculous. Some of it, especially some of the tests that they do along with it, it seems kind of outdated and archaic when you.
And it's a bit subjective too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a bit subjective, because why would I? If I'm, it's just like, even if you have a kid that's going to college, right? And the coach comes to your house and they're like, look, I want your son to play, blah, blah, blah. He's great in high school. He's the number one in whatever. Why do I want my son to go to your college? And what is he going to get out of this experience aside from football? And if I'm an agent for a player like, let's say, Debo, right? Yeah. I'm like, Debo, although he went to the combine and he showed his ass, he really snapped at the combine. But I'm like, do you really want to do this, man? Can I have them come and watch you the way you play? We can do a pro day, and we can really set them up to see the whole of you. We can do all the exercises that they do at the combine. I mean, I understand why Debo went, because nobody really knew who he was, and that's a different kind of thing. But if I'm a blue chip dude and I know I'm going top 10, I'm good on the combine. And if you don't pick me, I graduated from college, hopefully, and I have a career anyway. You would think, but I could be wrong. I know it. If it would have been me and it would have been baseball and I would have had to go to one of those pro days, I would have absolutely went. Different set of circumstances, because I no matter how good you are at baseball, you still need people to be able to see you so they can validate that you're good. Problem is, you can go to the combine or a pro day or an NBA thing and have a horrible day or a series of bad days and not be able to really show what you do. So it's very subjective, man. I think when I'm done doing broadcasting, I'm going to be an agent.
There you go.
Oh, they get paid. I don't have to hit anybody? Great. I could be Scott Boras, but a lot nicer. Still very like you're gonna do it my way. But yeah. So the combine again subjective. Hey Andrea. Hey Chase. Hey Fred. Hi Fred. What's going on, y'all? Weren't expecting that, were you? See, that's why this show is good. We didn't talk about this yesterday, but Derek Jeter stepped down as the CEO of the Miami Marlins. Real quick, you think he goes back to New York? Or do you think New York will have him?
I don't know. What does Derek Jeter got to do? He doesn't have to do anything.
Nothing.
I mean,
doesn't have to do anything.
I kind of feel like if you're Derek Jeter, just go be Derek Jeter.
What was his last hit? A home run? Am I right? Or like a double or something? He scored a run? Man, what is he? Michael Jordan came to Yankee Stadium and gave him a hug? You're good, dude. They're going to retire your number if they didn't already. You're fine. They don't even have any numbers left, and they're going to retire your number. You're good. Just, you're married now. You got kids. You don't have to give ladies gift baskets anymore. Just calm down. Relax. Here in my town, the Chicago Blackhawks have finally hired a general manager who they have been acting like they weren't going to hire for the last 4 weeks. Kyle Davidson is going to be the team's permanent GM. To no surprise to anyone in Chicago, in an announcement this morning, the Blackhawks officially named Davidson as the 10th general manager in franchise history. He had worn the interim GM tag since August 26th, when former GM and president of hockey operations Stan Bowman resigned after the results of an independent investigation into the club's handling of sexual assault allegations against former video coach Brad Aldridge were made public. The Blackhawks are in trouble. And Marc-Andre Fleury, who's their goalie, will probably be getting traded because they got to get something for him. DJ Collins, I haven't hit anyone as a that's not totally true. It's been a long time since I hit someone as a broadcaster. Marc-Andre Fleury is worth a lot of picks. He's worth some live bodies too that are able to play right away. And the Blackhawks have to figure out a way to get rid of him before the playoffs start so they can actually get something for him. Patrick Kane is 30-something years old now. He's not that young wonder kind anymore. Jonathan Taves, who knows what's up with him and how long he's going to play for them. They've got young guys in their system, but as somebody who has, I finally got around to watching a Blackhawk game, Gliss, and it's a hard watch. They're young and they're not really good. And I put it to you this way: I thoroughly enjoyed
Trailblazers right now.
Oh, it's hard watching the Trailblazers too, but I get what they're doing. They are stinking up on purpose. The Blackhawks are trying to win games and they can't. And that's why watching the Seattle Kraken has been a very interesting watch for me. But it's hard as a Blackhawk fan to watch this team right now. I need a little bit of separation. Knowing what they did to that man and how they acted like nothing happened, it's just hard as a man. It's just hard for me to get with that. It goes back to what Wayne Gretzky said on TNT when he said, my kid is the Blackhawks are one of the teams that my child would have played for. And they're one of the teams that's interested in him. And I have a lot of questions about how they run their organization. And I still have those questions, even though they're trying. I have a lot of questions. I will make a prediction about the Blackhawks, though, Gliss. They're going to lose the Indian. I think that happens over the summer. And they should. No reason to do it anymore. You find a Blackhawk bird, stick them on the front of that stupid jersey, and keep it moving. And people will be mad. We want the Blackhawk Indian. Because that's what they do. And again, everybody in Chicago sounds like that. But they'll be fine. And they will move on. I want to get rid of the Indian. This is racist. We maybe not racist, but we don't like it. It's too bad. He'll be fine. Ooh, wait till I get you here, Gliss, so you can see that I'm not joking that everybody in Chicago sounds like that.
I can't wait. I'm ready to get a trip out there.
It's coming. Don't worry. I think we've talked about it enough now where they've got to be thinking about how do they get us all in the same room. Tonight in the NBA, the Pistons, all times Eastern, by the way, the Pistons take on the hapless Wizards. The Hawks take on the resurging Celtics. The Nets, who are this is really hard to figure out what the Nets are doing. They take on the Raptors. The first game is at 7. These other two are at 7:30. At 8 p.m. Eastern, the Clippers against the Rockets. Whatever. And the Warriors against the Timberwolves. Good game to watch. Both games at 8 p.m. At 10 p.m., the Mavericks take on the Lakers. And I'm going to predict tonight that the Lakers lose by 15 points. Luka Doncic goes off for 50. In the NHL, all times Eastern, the first 3 games are at 7 p.m. The Senators against the Lightning. The Oilers, I love the Oilers, take on the Flyers. The Devils and the Blue Jackets get together in Columbus. The Hurricanes take on the stupid Red Wings, who I don't care if the Blackhawks make me mad. I hate the stupid Red Wings. The Flames take on the Minnesota Wild. Boo! The Canadiens against the Jets. Both of those games are at 8. The Islanders, the Canadiens, okay. Montreal Canadiens. The Islanders take on the Avalanche at 9 Eastern. The Sharks against the Golden Knights at 10. And the Bruins take on the Mighty Ducks. What's his name? Gordon, what was his name? In the Ducks, the coach? Oh, wow, I used to watch that.
Yeah, I think it was Gordon something.
Gordon something. Not Gordon Gecko, because that was Wall Street, but Gordon somebody, whatever his name was. Stupid guy, stupid movie. Thank you to everybody who's joining us. And my man DJ.
Gordon Bombay.
Gordon Bombay. Thank you, Bliss. That's right. Mr. Coach Bombay, please come back.
You gotta be careful. That movie has a cult following from 90s.
Hey man, I love the Ducks. I'm not mad. I'm just saying. The Mighty Ducks. That's right. Disney. Hey. making moves all over the place. When we come back, we have a very special story about a green dog. We're going to do that in a moment. It's The Drive here on Backchannel.tv, YouTube, and on your Amazon supported devices. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A Nova Scotia couple whose 3-year-old bulldog gave birth to a litter of 8 puppies said they immediately noticed something unusual about one of the newborns. Her fur was dyed green. Trevor and Audra Mosher of Middle Sackville said they thought their dog, Freya, was finished after delivering her first 7 puppies, but while they were cleaning the canine mother, she started to go into labor again. Freya delivered an 8th puppy, this time encased in a black sack, contrasting with the translucent sacks of its older siblings. The couple said they initially feared the puppy was stillborn, but they rushed to clean the newborn canine when she started to move. We started to dry her off and noticed she was green, and immediately again thought there was something wrong, so we Googled it. My puppy is green, what's wrong? And apparently it is a very rare puppy, and it's happened a few times all over the world, Trevor Mosher told Global News. The rare discoloration, which has been documented before, is believed to be caused by light-colored puppies coming into contact with the green pigments from bile while in the womb. I'm kind of amazed, really. As rare as it seems to be, I feel very lucky to have witnessed it and be a part of it. I know you hear stories about things like that, but to be there and witness it, it was good, Mosher said. Freya Mosher said in a Facebook post that the names being considered for the puppy include, here we go, Hulkette, Fiona, Wasabi, Lucky Irish, and Pistachio. The couple said the puppy's green coloring had started to fade in the days since the birth, and experts said it will continue to fade in the coming weeks until it is gone completely. Well, that's not right. Why can't the dog stay green? Still a pretty cool story you can share with folks later on tonight.
It would be better if it stayed green.
Yeah, why not? If Clifford the dog could be red and 19 feet tall, this puppy should stay green. That'd be interesting. And we got some time. On this date in 1961, Mattel places Ken dolls on sale as Barbie's boyfriend. Psychological warfare at its best. Yes, I said it. I said it out loud too. And I'm looking at the camera. Psychological warfare at its best. Ken and Barbie. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy establishes the Peace Corps. In 1969, Mickey Mantle announces his retirement from baseball. In 2003, suspected September 11 mastermind Khalid Saeed Mohammed is captured by CIA and Pakistani agents. Birthdays today: actor-director Ron Howard from the Andy Griffith Show and Happy Days. Opie Cunningham is 68 years old today. Woo, Charlie. That's woo. In 1973, my man Chris Webber, he's 49 years old today. I remember watching, I can't remember the name of the show, but Mark Jones from ESPN used to host a show with high school athletes on it. And Chris Webber, I remember when he came out of high school. I remember when Jason Kidd also coming out of high school and they were talking about those guys. Born in 1997, TikTok star Keisha. I guess she's a TikTok star. She's a singer. She's 35 today. And Justin Bieber's birthday is today. He is only 28 years old. We have been in just the Bieber world forever. That's all I'm going to say because I don't want to upset anyone. Bieber. Elton John's first single, I've Been Loving You, is released on Philips Records in England in 1968. Duran Duran's album Rio is certified gold in 1983. And in 1994, the U.S. Supreme Court rules that former Creedence Clearwater Revival singer-songwriter John Fogerty could sue to recover attorney fees following a copyright infringement suit that had been filed against him in bad faith. Reading is fundamental. It's all because I said Barbie and Ken were psychological warfare. Did you know that the U.S. has less than half of 7-Eleven convenience stores than what Japan has? I didn't know that. Makes sense.
That's important for me to know. So,
are you going to Japan?
No.
Oh.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to.
That would be cool. I have a friend that lives in Japan. That'd be awesome.
Be on my list. Probably on my top 5 list.
Yeah, go to Japan. 38% of newlyweds say they miss their own bathroom the most from when they were single. I can see that. Again, psychological warfare with the bathroom. 24% of us haven't used a landline this year. That's a hardwired phone for home or business for the younger folks. It's into the wall. It's wires. In the next 3 hours, over 10 million pizzas will be purchased. Is that true? Wow. Okay. This isn't something done on purpose, but golf. This isn't something that's done on purpose. And this is going to sound like it sounds, but golfers lose their balls 1.5 billion times each year.
I had the same thought when. Yeah.
Professionalism. 25% of men won't date a woman if she. Wait. 25% of men won't date a woman if she has a facial piercing.
Don't come to Portland for look. If you're one of those men, don't come to Portland looking for women. Don't say that.
Don't say that. You take yourself out.
You can be in a bookstore or a strip club, and probably both of those employees are going to have facial piercings here. So.
And when we started talking about balls, here we go.
Of course.
Mark says, hello, Luther Balls. Michaela says the word is Jenna the hacker. Uh-oh. Mark is telling her to shut up. What's going on here? Why are you guys fighting each other?
Be nice.
Stop it.
Nice
I know where the
and-
landline. He says, I know where the landline is. I watched Stranger Things. That's what Mark says. Okay. I need to make this larger here so I can see where this animosity is coming from. Mark says Minecraft is better. We're reading these all out of context. I don't know what's going on here.
Screw Roblox.
Yeah, what is going on?
You
All
are
right.
the pineapple. Yeah, I don't. All kinds of references. My kids would understand this better.
I don't know what any Minecraft anything means. And Nova Scotia teen combined two of his hobbies and set a Guinness World Record by solving 211 Rubik's Cubes while bouncing on a pogos. That's it. You know what? I'm tired of people. Saul Hafting, 16, of Annapolis Rural, spent an hour and 12 minutes solving the 211 Rubik's Cubes while bouncing on his pogo stick. Guinness World Records confirmed this week that Hafting's feat was a new world record and unbelievably stupid. He didn't say that. I said that. Hafting said he trained for about 3 months before attempting the record. When he began, he could only bounce for 10 minutes, but he practiced a little longer each time for as many days of the week as he could. Once he reached 45 minutes, he learned to wear knee pads under his pants to prevent blisters.
Congratulations.
Yeah, hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, right. Congratulations, sir. Good job. Look at what you did.
I guess.
And oh boy, amazing. Oh, we did a Lego story yesterday. I won't talk about the cows that invade the neighborhood. Let's say that one for tomorrow. I'm sorry, for Friday.
Yeah.
Lego teams up with Vespa for an iconic Italian scooter set. I would totally buy this. Get a taste of Italian style with the new Lego Vespa 125 model, inspired by the iconic Vespa Piaggio. The 1,106-piece set pays tribute to the original Vespa with its pastel pale blue color, one of the first colors this Italian icon was made in. See, I got all cool when I started talking about this scooter. Fans can further celebrate the heritage of the set by adding a classic 1960s Italian incense plate, license plate, and the Vespa logo. The model is full of details and design touches, from a bunch of flowers in the bike's basket and spare wheel to the removable engine cover, brick-built engine, kickstand, and working steering. I totally would do it. I'd love to have it, and I might try to find it and get it. No, Mark, that wasn't what I said. Okay, let me get out of here. DJs in Indiana, thank you, brother. Michaela, Andrea, Mark, Kobe, Dr. Crutchfield, Bella, Michaela, and this gentleman, Mark, are going to fight all night. Tim and everybody else who joined us today on the stream on Backchannel or YouTube or however you got here, we really appreciate it. By the way, DJ says balls. Yeah, Jawan is going to give Chris some B-Day licks. I bet. You can't fight Disney. You're correct. I just did a whole thing, and yeah, you can't. So I don't even try it. Mr. Gliss, thank you so much, brother. I will see you on Friday.
Friday, we get a little gap here.
That's right. And tomorrow you'll be with Robert. So
I'll
have
be
fun.
with Robert. Yep. And you make sure to take notes so that you can fill us in on Friday.
Oh, I'm sure I'll have a story to tell on Friday.
All right.
I'm pretty sure of that. Thanks, man. See you in a bit. Everybody, thank you so much for checking out the show today. We really appreciate it. A programming note, I will be back on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. You can catch me, however, on Thursday on WLPNLP Chicago 105.5 FM, or you can listen at lumpenradio.com. That's LUMPEN radio.com for news from the service entrance, and that begins at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. As the sun sets in Chicago, Illinois, I'm Mario Smith. On behalf of everyone at Backchannel.tv and to everybody that's one of our passengers today on the drive, have a great, great evening. We will see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. I will see you again on Friday. Peace.